Tanny Collins is a fourth-generation leader of P.F. Collins. He is recognized worldwide for his expertise in international trade and logistics to Canada's marine, energy, industrial, aerospace, and other industries. His expertise in customs legislation helped reduce trade barriers for critical elements of development, including seismic exploration, drilling operations, and immigration for temporary foreign workers. For his efforts to advance integrated logistics services for offshore operators and supply companies, and his lasting impact on the industry, this year the Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Tanny Collins.
He took a family business, passed down from his dad, and then he took that in an era when it was the offshore wasn't even on the radar. And he grew that business, expanded it, and he done a very good job on keeping that whole family business and then passed it on to his children.
The Coasting Trade Act in 2010 was not favorable to Newfoundland and Labrador. It provided effectively a monopoly to a single vessel at the expense of the global geoscience community. Tanny saw that the secret there was the fact that our acts were a little more protective than they need to be. Through analysis of the different surveys or geoscience work that had been lost in years previous, and make a compelling case that Canada should change that act for the betterment of the industry and, of course, ultimately the province. And as a result, to this day, we've seen over $600 million of additional geoscience work in the last decade, and we've seen more than half a dozen new companies come into our area, and we've seen over $4 billion worth of offshore license bidding.
42 years ago, I came for an interview at P.F. Collins, and Tanny was the person who actually interviewed me. And I got the job, and it went out from there. Tanny was always very kind. He had this nurturing quality about him that not in the way that a parent nurtures their children, but the way a teacher nurtures their students. He sort of gave that ability to learn and made you want to learn.
Well, I think it's important to recognize Tanny really for two reasons. One in the industry and one in the community. Tanny was president of the Regatta Committee for a number of years. He's a lifetime president of the Regatta Committee now. The Canadian Red Cross, the Cougar 491 Legacy Fund, YMCA, YWCA. Tanny's had all sorts of impact on the local community as well, outside his business activities.
He just made really good strategic moves, and it took a lot of risks. You don't know if the industry is going to go in a certain direction, but he was always asking questions to find out what your needs are. How can I help with this? That was his whole idea for providing service to the industry.
I've been told by customs that Tanny Collins knows more about the marine industry and the offshore and customs-related matters than they do.
I believe that it's of utmost importance that society must recognize individuals like Tanny, not just because of the kind of company that he had helped shape and build, but for how he does things, his personality, his character, his integrity.
He's just such a caring person, cares about everybody and cares about the community. Has made a huge, huge impact. So this award's long overdue. Tanny fully deserves it through his impact on industry and development in Newfoundland and on the community in Newfoundland and Labrador.